What the fuck is up, bitches? It's Cocktober, and you know what that means. Fucking in a pumpkin patch, and Dickcember is just around the corner.
You say fucktober?
Cocktober.
Oh, I thought you said fucktober.
Anyway, everybody.
Take that high five
welcome
back.
You're gonna make me cry.
Feeble as it was. Fucking just 2 fingers.
Yeah, we
just fucking touch tips or something.
We have to redo just about every high five we do. And like, I don't even feel too bad about that because almost everybody has to do that.
Oh, we're kind of like an awkward situation.
Yeah, true. One thing that my it was Dylan that told me about this. When we were just walking past each other at work, he was like, I know how to get a high five down every time. Look at their forearm or their elbow when you're about to do it. And then, like, never missed. It's just it's something that's kind of hard to remember when you're about to go in for a high five, because anytime somebody proposes a high five, you're just about like, and then you just have to throw yourself into it.
Fucking slap them.
Yeah. You don't want to be late for a high five. You don't want to leave someone hanging. You know?
Yeah. When you get so confused, you just whip out your dick. A hand is like a wizard, arrives precisely when it's needed, and also works magic on your dick. You go for the high five.
Hi, dick.
It was a masturbation joke, not a fucking molestation joke.
Molestation.
Yeah. What's that mean? It's molested. Oh. Molestation.
Yeah, Tyler. Fucking fool. Did you just fart?
No. No, that's the chair beneath. No, that's my feet with this new table we got. Oh my god, my reality as I know it is broken down. And what reality is that? It's MDcast!
It is. It's MDcast, episode 39.
We're almost at 40.
Yeah, we're almost at 40.
Many.
You've said that a few times now.
Every time we say what episode it is. I'm like, oh, that number too many. It's the wrong number. That's number too many.
We're on drugs.
Yeah.
Q isn't here. Q couldn't make it today.
We're lonely boys in a basement.
Yeah,
so
just
we're
three lonely boys in a basement doing drugs. Yeah, we are gang leaders after all. We do come home after a long day of work and drink the bong water. You know,
yeah.
We hit some bongers.
Yeah, we each control part of the city, divided into thirds. You know.
What?
Gang leaders.
Oh.
Eric, for guys don't joke. We've got what have we got? We got what's your gang, Tyler?
Don't do it. Don't say it.
Oh my god, the visible struggle.
Don't say it.
I shouldn't have asked this question. You don't understand what popped into my mind as soon as you asked that.
My fucking heart sank as soon as he said that. And it was like I was able to see the gears turning behind Tyler's eyes.
I just saw him start to squint violently. Oh. His face changed color and you could feel the fucking energies. He was glowing like a Super Saiyan and the menacing logos were floating around. The background turned purple. That has to be the thumbnail for this video now. That's just too good.
What's your gang name, Tyler? Okay, no, in all seriousness, what would your gang name be? And don't do it.
Well, a gang name usually refers to something that you're about. So, we all know I'm about. I'd probably go with 3rd Street Women Respecters. Big Man Gang.
Big Man Gang?
Every person in my gang is a big man.
Why don't you just call them the XLs then? It can't be Big Man Gang. It has to be something about being big.
Yeah, you know, it's gotta be like, oh shit, the whatever is coming to town.
The XLs.
Triple XL.
Yeah, the triple X's.
The fun size.
The fun size. That refers to small.
We got the
Funner size.
super big mans, and then we got the little people.
And then you got midgets.
There's a reason why I said little people.
There's a reason why.
Yeah, you said the hard R in midget.
What about you, Eric? If you had a gang, what would the name be?
Probably the First Street Gutter Snipes.
First Street Gutter Snakes.
Yeah. Or no, it wouldn't be that. I'm not about scrounging in gutters. The First Street Soapbox Screamers. Because if I ever lost my house, I would just get a soapbox and I would stand downtown with a megaphone yelling at people. I'd be a street preacher. That's like
gang evangelist.
that's my that would be my reality if I lost my house. I already have it planned out.
Ah, yes.
What about you, Kyle? If you had a gang, what would the name be?
These are the questions. These are the mysteries. I was thinking of some fucking goblin.
The Gobbles.
Goblin. There would be
Goblin
fucking-
rejects, because you're not even worth it.
Not even worthy of being a goblin. Ooh. I like it.
The Goblin Rejects.
We just wear green. We all wear green painted like Halloween costumes. And then we get put into Saints Row. And we die!
What? Y'all must have any dreams recently? I like to talk about dreams.
I had some kind of sci-fi dream recently, but I can't actually remember it.
I had this one really weird dream that I was on like a ranch kind of deal.
Ram Ranch. Don't throw your phone at me. Don't throw your phone at me.
Well, it wasn't a phone.
I made sure to take my phone off first. But anyways,
Continue.
A ranch kind of deal. There's 3 houses, and there's different people in each house.
Oh, it was the gangs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the first house, for some reason, it was all like the YouTubers I watch kind of deal, all just like bunched up in one house.
Oh no!
So I'm like having fun hanging out with them. Then I leave that house to go to a different one, and it's like all my real life friends and their families living in the house. So like all up and hanging out with them. And the last one was just empty. That was my
your
house.
That's sad. That's sad.
That's when I woke up.
That's really sad.
What do you got, Eric?
I had a dream that like I was waiting outside of a grocery store, and like it was the middle of the night, but like there was a big lineup, and it was one of those ones where I didn't know why I was immediately there. So I'm like, why is everybody standing here? What am I doing here? And then Sam, he was behind me, and he was like, it's the midnight grocery drop. Like they're dropping the new groceries. It's crazy.
Oh no!
Like you're lining up for a new game.
Drop.
Yeah, it was like he was like, it's the midnight grocery drop, and then the guy in front of me was like, yeah, they got asparagus this year. It's fucking crazy. Like, clock strikes 12. Everybody runs in like it's
Black Friday.
like it's Black Friday. Like people are getting trampled and shit. And I run over to a shelf, and I grab like 10 packs of bacon. And for some reason, right above that, they're selling anime figures. So I start shoveling the anime figures into my basket. And I look down the aisle, and I see Sam just absolutely tank somebody out of the way. But I turned around, and there was like a grocery stock boy, and he looked like Ron Weasley. So I pointed at him, and I dropped my basket, and I said, "There you are, Ron!" And then I run over, and I grab him by the head, and I start slamming his head into the fucking shelf.
Why?
I don't
You
know.
hate Ron Weasley?
No,
or
I don't
something?
hate Ron Weasley. In fact, he was
I
my
don't buy
favorite.
it.
He was my favorite character in Harry Potter. I don't know why I beat the shit out of him, but after that, I woke up. There you are, Ron.
Poor Ron Weasley.
That's fucked up.
You got any dreams,
No.
Brother Kyle?
Not that I can remember. I remember there was one where I was angry, and I think at you?
Why? What did I do?
don't know. Must have done something. But I don't know what it was. So I don't have anything.
Well, I'm sorry for doing that.
I'm pretty sure Dream Eric would be sorry as well.
You'd be very apologetic.
Dream Eric is a different person. You got to take that up with him.
He's really built different, you know?
He's a different breed.
I had another dream that I fucked a girl in a movie theater, but like the movie theater was empty.
The movie's a lot better than the girl.
Yeah, I love porn theaters.
So this week I conquered it. It's been
This week.
I conquered a childhood fear of mine that has plagued me since like you guys fucking laugh.
I'm sorry to laugh at your fear, but it's pretty funny.
Ever since I was 13, I saw the Smile Dog picture, and it was out of my mind for a while. But like anytime I'd go to bed, like up until like a week ago, like 21-year-old Eric. If I go to bed and I have to wake up in the middle of the night to take a piss or get a drink, I sometimes imagine that picture of Smile Dog, and it makes me kind of spooked. And I was like, no, this has got to end. I'm a grown ass man. I cannot be thinking about this stupid smiling dog, this uncanny red filter picture of a dog with human teeth.
It's just one night. It's just gonna be your dog with like a picture of teeth.
Well, I would cave my dog's head in because
What if your dog came at you with like the fucking bloodshot eyes that you put on everything and the fucking teeth?
I'm pretty sure Eric would die laughing.
She would get punted into the TV or something. But anyway, I conquered that fear by taking the picture and then making it my wallpaper and screen lock on my phone. And for the gentleman here, there it is.
Well, there he is. There he is.
That's the best.
Honestly, it's not even a bad background if you like the image.
Yeah, because it actually fits very well, but I still don't like the image because I could make it anime titties instead.
True.
I thought you were.
Ow!
I thought it was the one where it looks like one of those like fat dogs, like your old grandma.
Yeah,
and it has like a Photoshop kind of deal smile on his face.
Yeah,
No.
there is because the point of the Smile Dog thing was that they send you the smiling dog, and if you don't send it to someone else, then eventually the picture changes, and then you see the like weird like red fucked up one.
I fucking love those. I love I have family like that always sends that shit to me like over Facebook.
Really?
Like, oh hey, not like the smiling dog one, but like, oh hey, send this to this person.
Those are pyramid schemes. I don't talk to people that do that.
It's not like, oh, you'll get $10 if you send it to someone else. It's like, oh, send this to someone else to get like 10 years of good luck from this blue butterfly. And I was like, God, Grandma, why are you talking to me?
Grandma, go away, go back to the grave. Have you come back to haunt me with blue butterflies again?
That's fucked up because my mama's dead.
You see, my grandma's dead, which is why I said that.
My family members don't die. They can't be killed on Canadian soil.
Damn. I was going to propose some kind of like parallel to vampires, but they can only like sleep on their own soil.
They can never leave Canada. If they do, they fucking die.
I mean, Canada's a big place. I don't even think that's too bad of a deal. It's like you can live forever, but you only get to live in Canada. I'm like, okay.
See,
I was gonna do that anyway.
Second biggest country in the world.
does not. All right, but like, if you were to leave, can you leave Canada, but you can't live outside Canada?
It would be a situation where, say, as soon as you cross that border into like the States, you would probably instantly feel all the pain you would have experienced in Canada. So like it hits you all.
Well, you're not avoiding all pain forever. You're just living forever.
I was trying to make it funny, not funny. Like
Fucked up.
yeah,
I mean, I guess yeah.
because like
That
if
was
you
pretty
like
fucked up.
the deal is, as long as you live in Canada, you'll live forever, and all the shit that would have killed you, like say some kind of fucking bacteria would have fucking ate your intestines or some shit.
Or you got like hit by a truck or something, and
Yeah.
So
all that pain-
you're not just living. You are straight up immortal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as soon as you walk out of that border,
because then you don't get the problem that like all immortal questions what it's like. Would you live forever, or would you like be happy with a family? And a lot of people would be like, yeah, I'd be happy with a family. Where like if you are immortal, like even when the Earth explodes, which it eventually will, then you just be still alive, floating around in space until you came in contact with another alien race. Then like it's like, oh, the world's ending. I can just walk over the border.
Yeah, immortality with a kill switch.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I think it's like that's a good immortality.
What, immortality where you can end it?
The important part about life is it has an end.
Pancakes.
Yeah.
Pancakes. Waffles.
I didn't mean that to sound as messed up, but like a life isn't complete without an end.
Yeah.
If you're immortal, you might as well just be nothing. Nothing and everything all at once.
Yeah.
That's
It
why
might
I
as well
always,
be a big fart cloud in the cosmic existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always hate the idea of being like immortal or something like that. 'Cause it just doesn't seem like fun.
It'd be pretty whack.
You'd get to do and see a lot of things. It's just after a while, after you exceed all of that, then it would probably get boring.
Yeah.
And like is the way functionally it's a really cool idea, but like if you were immortal, you'd constantly be having to figure out how to change aliases and stuff, and like disappearing and reappearing, because you wouldn't be able to be. It's like, okay, I want to conquer the world. Well, an army general isn't going to live 150 years. People would start asking questions.
Yeah.
Like it's another one of those things, much like time travel and like ultimate parallel universes. A lot of shit gets fucked up as soon as you actually start applying like real logic to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would want to be. I wouldn't want to be immortal. I would just like to have elf physics, I guess, or not physics, elf life,
Lifespan.
because they just stay old for a really long time.
Yeah, they live for, depending on what kind of elven lore you want.
Fucking elves.
They can live up to
Fucking
like
knife ears.
thousands of years.
Fucking knife ears, razor vagina. Don't trust them.
Never trust them. They fuck trees.
They
Fuck the
fuck,
fishes.
they fuck trees. They fuck fish. They fuck bears. They fuck cows.
That's insane.
They fuck everything. They want to be one with nature.
Fucking.
I've always liked the idea, the way immortality works in a specific book I read, or it's like vampires, but even the vampires themselves can grow old still,
Mm-hmm.
so they're not immortal, but they're pervious to most things. Even then, in that world, there are sicknesses that can attack them, so they're not impervious to everything.
Like herpes.
Herpes really do be getting vampires out here, though.
I wonder if you get crabs from a vampire, are they vampire crabs?
Can vampires get crabs?
Yes. Because they are external.
They are. Vampires could get crabs, everyone.
We have confirmed this.
We've talked to at least 15 vampires, and they've all said that they've had crabs within the last 5 days.
Listen. Would you fuck a vampire?
Tyler,
What?
do you know who you are speaking to?
Like, am I
Yes.
the only one at like 13 would have like fantasies of a female vampire coming through the window and
Bruh.
you get the snoo.
Vampire fan... Fucking vampires is literally as old as fucking vampires themselves.
That's probably
Everybody
why
wants to
I'm
fuck a
masochist.
vampire.
Yeah,
And it helps if vampires are human. But how about this? Fucking Nosferatu kind of shit.
I'll kill
So you wouldn't fuck them, you'd kill
It's
because
Nosferatu. They would look like I can say yes, they do look appealing in their own kind of strange way, like as drawn. But like if one was before me, I would be a little hesitant, you know.
Mm-hmm.
the ones like that Transformers, like bats kind of deal, right? Like big bats.
Oh, vampires
No.
do that. Nosferatu are like the kind of like tall, like weird
Big,
head
pointy-
shape, big
like in Witcher?
fingers.
Big pointy ears, really fucked up teeth.
Yeah, no, I'm killing it.
Yeah, it's
You're gonna kill him just because he's British.
they're
Yeah.
they're basically they're more monstrous
I hate
type
British
of
people. As much as I hate white people.
society.
Don't you fucking... Oh, you fucked
But
me, you motherfucker.
another-
You motherfucker, you cheap motherfucker, you fucked me.
Fuck me! Another good example of them is Vampire the Masquerade, especially if you played Bloodlines. Do you remember the different vampires from that?
Never played it.
Well,
They
it
had Nosferatu in that one.
Yeah, it had Nosferatu, and they were basically like ugly and bulbous and very clearly not human.
And
so
they would
just
actually,
skulk
like,
sewers.
You would not be allowed to walk around amongst the normal people and like every other vampire. So it's
Yeah.
basically like hard mode.
I would like the transforming vampire. The ones from Helsing. The girl from Helsing. The female vampires from Helsing.
Yeah. I'd like one that is like half bat, because I'm a degenerate.
I like one that looks good in a big fucking cape.
All of them.
Then I have options.
Have you ever watched Van Helsing?
Yes.
The Hugh Jackman one?
Yeah,
Those ladies basically had fucking capes.
respectable. I can always respect someone who rocks a cape.
How did you guys feel about the Underworld movies?
I really liked it. Now keep in mind, I watched it so fucking long ago. Like, I liked it purely because it's like, ooh, fucking vampire kicking the shit out of werewolves in modern urban locations?
And it
Hell
just,
yeah.
this is just for me too, it just oozes that early 2000s, like, dark gothic action movie.
Oh,
kinda.
yeah.
Like, it feels like The Matrix, it feels like Constantine,
Like, and it's like one of those things you can instantly tell what it's like because the main character is a fucking attractive vampire woman who wears a fucking like skin tight black suit
and
Yeah.
big boots,
big boots for stomping werewolves.
stomping ball sacks.
And it's one of those movies where it's like for some reason, despite being in the modern age, they carry around like discs that like spew knives or some
Still
shit.
had like crossbows and shit.
Yeah, they have all this weird shit. It is such an early 2000s action movie. And
I
like
absolutely love them.
that. We should add those to the list.
Believe it or not, they're already there.
All of them, like even the new one.
I only ever put the first and second one down because I only saw half of the third one, so I have no idea if it's good. But I really, really,
Put the
really
third
love the
one.
first two.
Put the
Okay.
third one on there.
Okay.
Because if you're actually like really interested in the lore of the movies, the third one's pretty good.
The third one's the one that takes place, like, back in time, right? Okay.
Like the 1400s kind
The
of deal.
olden days.
You find out a lot more about the antagonist in the first movie
Mm.
and why he is the way he is.
Okay. Anyway, vampires are cool.
Vampires are pretty
I love the idea in the first one, like their whole goal, like the enemy's whole goal was to make a hybrid. One who is not vampire, not human, or not Lycan.
Of what? What
Uh,
series?
The vampire.
Underworld.
Oh.
The hybrid dude.
I don't think I ever watched all three of the movies, but I could be wrong.
The first one.
I think that happens in the first one, right?
Yeah, you see
Was
his main
Yes.
transformation at the end. He's totally badass.
I mean,
And ultimately,
been a long
the
fucking
werewolves
time.
win because that was their goal. They made it. I really like the second one for the main villain in it.
Yeah.
we should watch those this month, because it is spooky month.
It sure is spooky month. It's just restrictions are making it harder for people to get together. So.
Yeah, that is true. But that sucks, so we don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. We don't like talking about COVID in this household.
I love those movies. I love the lore and all that kind of stuff.
Speaking of movies, did you know that I have no idea when they made it, but I only really started hearing about it recently. They made a fucking movie for Made in Abyss that happens to cover the Bondrewd Act.
Oh, interesting. I had no idea about that. I still actually have to see the actual anime for that. I've only ever read the manga.
I saw the anime.
Do you know when does the anime stop?
It stops right after Riko and Reg and Nanachi, they kill. I don't want to spoil. they do thing, and then they walk off to go to the Bondrewd.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they made a movie, a well animated movie, that covers the Bondrewd stuff.
Okay.
And I remember I saw I found out about it because I wound up seeing someone posted a little video clip that was the part where Reg and Bondrewd actually fight. And it was, and one thing I really liked is that you see like the early onsets of his fucking fucked up face, where part of his mask gets ripped off and you see his eye and it goes stupid weird because his eye was always stupid weird. But that would be spoiler talk to explain that.
Yeah.
But that also brings in a new question. Yeah, movies.
Movies.
Yeah, movies. You know, is
What about
there a property out there that you just think either you really want a movie of it or you think it would make a good movie?
For specifically like
Just anything.
books or anything?
The Darren Shen series. Doesn't matter which one.
Alright.
It could, but they did do that.
I don't know if I've already said this or not. I might have
We
off
probably
of
have,
podcast, but I think the Voynich Hotel would make a good movie.
Yeah, it would have to be a movie, wouldn't it?
Because no way that they could fit an anime in that. Or I think a good long movie would be My Sweet Alien too. Because I actually really like that one. My Sweet Alien, I don't know if we talked about it yet.
We have in some way.
It's just a really sweet, like, one big manga story. It's not a series. But it's about just an average dude getting abducted and then falling in love with an alien and her living on Earth with him. And kind of slice of life, very romantic comedy, but it's very sweet. Like, you'll walk away from it feeling good.
You could say romantic comedy, but it's the kind of romantic comedy where they're already married, so
yeah,
it's way better off
it's
than all
it's
the other
even
ones.
better because it's not two people trying to hint that they like each other for God knows how
20
long.
episodes.
It's they cut the shit.
I would love to see the Demon series of Darren Shen stuff.
The Demonata. That would be neat because I always liked how he had actual descriptions for the monsters and shit. It was very nice.
This has been a very monster-centric episode. I like that. Because it
Welcome
is
to Spooky Month.
It is spooky month. It sure
First
is
episode of
October.
Spooky Month. Fucking, I think it would be neat. Now, granted, this is a lot of hearsay, because I've never actually seen the originals of this. I think it would be neat to see a modern movie of like 1,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I don't know that one.
It's an old book, I think, and I can feel my memory slipping away from me while I try to recall it. I think it's an old book, and then they made like an audio play of it or something, and they might have made an old movie, but I mean, it's what it sounds like. Submarine goes real fucking deep. Shit ensues.
You know what's pretty cool?
What?
we do get the chance to, Halloween is on Saturday.
It is. It is. It sure
Yeah.
is.
We can have a spooky episode.
A spooky episode.
You just said we can have AIDS.
I love it when your voice goes kind of quiet yet high, Kyle. Because the last thing that I can remember was like a couple episodes ago. I was like, "What do you guys think about Hollow Live?" And you were like, "I think it's pretty high."
Good to see it's working. My amazing comedic effect.
All right. Now that we're on shows and movies, though, what's a show that? All right, Tyler, you explained it better because we proposed topics before this because we knew we'd run out. But what's a show that is timeless to you that like you can always go back to? Like no matter how old you are or where you are in life, you can always just go back and watch it. Or a movie.
Movies for me, it is the first Hellboy, any of the Lord of the Rings.
First Hellboy's really good.
Yeah. I like Golden Army, but I wouldn't say it's one I'd actually like go to watch kind of deal. It's Lord of the Rings. Van Helsing. I heard a story from my dad that I was literally able to quote that fucking movie as a kid.
Those are other movies too that are really, really 2000s. Was Van Helsing as well. That was a good one.
I like that era as far as those movies are concerned.
As for like a show, and
That's so Raven.
no, but to go with like those kind of old Disney shows, what the fuck was it called?
Tippity tap 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 tap.
Tick tick tock, 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 tick tock.
I can't remember, but maybe yeah. That's So Raven. That's So Raven's one you can always go back and watch. I always love to go back and see what's up, see how different things back then were to now.
Not bad. Fucking God, what is timeless thing? One thing that I always enjoyed going back to watch was Billy and Mandy.
Classic.
Yeah, it's a classic cartoon back when. I'm not sure about movies because I don't know. There are definitely some movies out there that I would totally go back and watch a million times, but I don't know what they are.
For movies, for me, would be definitely The Grand Budapest Hotel. That's my all-time favorite movie.
Is that the one with Leonardo DiCaprio?
No.
Oh, that's The Great Gatsby.
That's I like The Great Gatsby too, though.
The Great Gatsby Hotel.
The Great Gatsby's really good. But it would be that and Django Unchained. I love that movie.
Django Unchained is no matter what, everyone likes it.
Mm-hmm. Or the first Kingsman. I liked the first Kingsman as well.
Yeah.
The
second one was alright.
Nah, I have differing opinions about the second one. It felt a lot like just the first one, except not as powerful.
Just the one redeeming thing about the second one is when the guy is standing on the mine and starts singing Country Road.
Yeah.
That's only about the only good thing that came from the second one.
But for shows, I would say one would be... I really like Phineas and Ferb. I could go back and watch Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
I don't know about any other shows, honestly. Maybe The Boys. I could see myself rewatching The Boys, even though it's not done yet.
It's interesting.
I don't think I could see myself rewatching it unless I was watching it with someone else. Because it's one of those shows where the whole episode is building up to this big climax. So when you first watch it, you're like, that was a pretty cool episode. But now you know what the climax is.
Then why are there movies out there and shows that we can just rewatch over and over again, though? Because we know the climaxes to those, too. It's just...
You're very...
you like them a lot.
Yeah,
could be
you're
the thing.
invested in it.
So
kind of deal.
we don't really know if The Boys would have that kind of effect, because for all we know, The Boys could have like the perfect ending. It's like, I need to see it again, but I need to rewatch the whole series to do it.
So far,
We're not going to talk about it.
no, I'm saying so far since I've basically binge watched all of it because I never watched season 1, and season 2 like just came out. It was like had 5 episodes in it or something. It's pretty good.
I'm waiting to watch the second season for sometime after my TV gets fixed.
Kyle's TV blew up.
What?
Your TV blew up.
Oh yeah, my TV blew up. But yeah, I'm waiting to watch it. But honestly, I can't see myself going to rewatch it because I don't rewatch things in the first place. But also, after watching the first season of The Boys, I went and read the entire comic.
And how different is it?
Very.
Yeah.
Like, entirely. Like,
Yeah. Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
Because you could probably enforce this. On Prime, Video Prime, whatever,
Yeah.
go
we
to
know.
the X-ray and you go to trivia. Literally in the first episode, the main guy, Huey, is meant to be an Irish
he's
propaganda guy, I think.
He's a Scottish dude, I think. Or
He was Irish or Scottish, he was one of them.
I want to say he was Scottish, but he was as redheaded, like red bearded. I forget if he was bald, but I think he was bald, and he was just an Irish guy.
It was something
Or
that
Scottish.
was probably the complete opposite of what he is now.
And that's the funny thing, because in the show they call him he's Huey. They call him Hugh. In in the comic they call him Wee Huey. And that's how he introduces himself. Like, oh, I'm Wee Huey.
Because obviously he's Scottish or Irish. Can't remember.
He's
Also,
Irish.
the fucking the beginning of the boy, the very beginning. Also, aside from Wee Huey, it also sets up like the death of Robin, not completely different, but a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't care about spoiling this. This is literally the inciting incident of the entire show, but where in the show, he's kind of holding hands with her, and then A-Train run through her, and he kind of looks back, he's like, shit, sorry,
shit,
man, that sucks,
sorry."
but I gotta go, and he fucking zips off. The comic, he was at a fair with Robin, and they're hold hands and running in the fields, like, oh man, I sure do love you, Robin, you are the best. And then a villain, a super villain, gets thrown into Robin and crushes her against a wall while he's still holding her hands. And so he sits there fucking paralyzed for a while. And you actually see her flattened into the wall. It's fucking grotesque. But
That's the whole thing about The Boys. It's meant to be like your
it's meant to
DC
be
or
super fucked up.
your superheroes, it's like your DC and Marvel animated shows, but completely.
Be ready for that as well. In season 2, they amp up the gore. They have more, and it's great.
But yeah, in that scene, and here's the big thing, because when it happened in the show, it was kind of this televised thing where it happens, and then he's like, oh fuck man, and runs away. And then they kind of establish more of it and the effect of it through him going forward, signing papers, listening on the news about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
In the comic, it was actually when because the villain that hit Robin was thrown by A-Train, and he runs by and basically just said, "Get the fuck out of the way, idiot!" And then literally he's sitting there listening to paramedics basically trying to get him to move, and people oh man, we're so glad the hero stopped the villain. Meanwhile, there's fucking firefighters trying to scrape her body off a wall, and it's this weird setup. But also the biggest probably difference between The Boys is that the comic is more about the company that owns them, because in the show, it's really the only.
It's more about the boys.
It's about the Seven,
Hmm.
because the Seven are the main superheroes, and the thing is, they're super powerful. Aside Homelander aside, they're relatively powerful entities. The comic focuses on the company that owns them, wherein they have like thousands of superheroes just all out and around in like different groups and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So there would be like, remember Popclaw?
Yeah, Popclaw.
She was a minor character that was just inside one of the random offshoot groups.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that. It's like basically the Seven's B team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
The reserve.
so the thing is, right? The point was more like, we're gonna kill a bunch of soups, and it's gonna be because we're trying to work our way through the fucking company. And the company is like this big, massive thing, whereas in the show they changed the perspective to be like, this is the Seven.
These are the big ones.
Yeah, the company means something. It does have an effect, but at the same time, it's more on the act. It's more focused on the actions of the Seven themselves, and it takes it in a completely different direction. Like, without spoiling it, obviously, the like major thing from the end of the first season that doesn't happen in the comic, like at all. And so,
well, we're not going to talk
I can't
about
tell
it.
but like that reveal of it was not present. So like any plot change or motivation change that happens there, not in comic.
Well, I can tell you this: in the second season, they really do focus on Bond. Like the Big Seven are really like a true thing.
Yeah, true. But like the comic had a lot of shit where it's like they would like spy on specific groups and then figure out what to do with them. So like there's one time where Huey basically had to join a fraternity house because they had such a structure in their group, the G-men they called them, that they actually had like the frat boy house that would eventually like graduate and become like the proper team. And it was this god. And of course, if you think the show's violent, like comics already have a very fascinating endorsement of violence, but that comic goes fucking mental real fast, and it's a good read.
That was one thing that got me into comics when I was younger. I liked how brutally violent they could be, because I was like, I can't see this like anywhere else. Even like video games have more of a restriction on them sometimes.
Because they can't fucking render that kind of violence.
Exactly.
I just like the most notable detail for like comics to like a show kind of deal is Laurie's death in The Walking Dead. That's one I've always like looked at, that I heard about and stuff, like, but someone like I knew was reading the comic and like, oh yeah, her death is completely different in the comics than compared to in the show. She got fucking shot in the gut and the kid was never born.
Yeah.
Because that's something that they probably wouldn't be able to get away with on TV.
No.
Like they could have it so that, because in the show's old as fuck. I'm not gonna bother not spoiling it. She has a C-section, so the baby lives but she dies.
Yeah. Carl had to shoot her in the head.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember reading at the time a fair bit way through Walking Dead, but nowadays I'm honestly
I think they're
floored by how many
past
volumes there are.
100.
Yeah, it's insane. I'm glad I dropped it eventually, but they had some interesting gruesome stuff in it, because it always felt like they knew when to be fucked up and gruesome looking, or when to like be a little more reserved with it. Like they were willing to show you like the decapitated heads of children, but like it was just kind of like some blood coming from a head. You know, it wasn't like a visceral, like ravaged neck or anything.
Yeah.
With their faces twisted into fucking blood curdling streams or something.
Maybe that's why the Demonica series from Demonica could never be turned to a movie.
Yeah, that show is It's a book series.
The book has a lot of fucked up shit happening in it.
Yeah, they make painstaking efforts to explain fucking to explain what kind of gruesomeness is going on. I remember one bit in the second book where where the main character basically had to go through a magic. Imagine a like a checkerboard, like a chess board, except each square, you're tiny. It's a giant checkerboard, and each different square is basically a completely different environment with different rules. So like they walk into one place and it looks like prehistoric, and there's just like literally a river of lava, and then they like pass the threshold into the next like checkerboard square, and now they're in the vacuum of space until they have to fucking get to some other area. But the point being, there was a scene in that where the main dude basically gets his fucking leg covered in lava, melts it. He explains how it melts him all the way up to like his thigh, or melts his leg, and so the person he was with basically says, you're a fucking wizard, because they were. You're a fucking wizard. Use some magic and heal that shit. So he's like, oh, okay. He does it on the spot, and then it explains how like his bones starts cracking and expanding outward, and flesh seemed to like tear off itself and expand, and like painful contortions of muscles, and then the skin like fucking extends over it.
They had something like that in an Animorphs book as well. I remember when I was younger. Because one of the guys that could transform into, or it was a girl, I think, that could transform into a bear, she got her arm blown off, and it went into detail on how the bone was growing out from the gore, and her hand was reforming.
Mm-hmm.
I never actually read that many Animorphs books. That was like the only one I read.
I never read any of them.
If anything had like a good magic system, I love the one in Demon Domino, whatever.
What was the magic system in that?
Like, on Earth, basically no magic existed. It was like a very faint kind of deal.
Yeah.
Unless certain parts of the world, like in Europe, they had like this one stone where it radiated magic, so it made you like a popular magic place. It's in every other dimension where magic is very prominent.
Yeah, but was that the only thing to the system?
You couldn't use advanced magic in the real world. Like, say you can actually go to hell, you could do literally anything. You could become fucking God, basically. It was pretty cool because, like you said, like, you can repair anything. Like, some guy got...
Yeah, the magic was like that limitless kind of magic where so long as you can manage figuring it out, you can just do shit.
Yeah.
Kind of things where it's like popping off stuff.
Back to super violent gore that would never be able to go on TV. I'm going to talk about Warhammer.
Okay.
In the Night Lords Omnibus, the way that one starts out is because it kind of goes into detail on why the Night Lords lost their Primarch, because he actually hated them. He hated what they were, who they'd become, because they were merciless, violent killers that believed in a sense of right that if somebody's caught jaywalking, they get fucking massacred. Or flayed in like violent ways, because that's just how they were. They were scare tactics. They would win the war before they even technically started it. But it starts off with just a city filled with civilians, and there's just... the blood is just puddled up to probably their waists because they've just killed so many people. And it says they're just bludgeoning people with their fists and bolt guns because they're out of ammo, and their chain swords no longer rev because their motors are so choked with blood.
It's a strange thing what is like accepted, because it's not even like comics are all that not mainstream anymore,
Yeah.
A lot of people will read comics, so it's amazing what they'll allow and what they won't. I remember, and I guess this is not TV, but this was video games, and this isn't like old video games where like no one played them. This was PS3 era. I remember I had a game made by Clive Barker, if you know who that is.
The name's familiar.
I want to say he works. He's done like comics of his own, but he's also worked on various games and probably other stuff.
What games?
I'm going to explain.
He's
that
going to
in a
get
second,
into
but
it.
One of them was. I forget what the other one was called, but regardless, the one I knew on PS3 was Jericho.
Jericho. I've heard of
Clive
that one. I
Barker's
never played it
Jericho.
though.
It was so much hyper violence that by the end of it, you don't even register that the floors are made of flesh. Like, it was. It was a really fucking weird game, but I played it a lot because that was one of the first PS3 games I had. Sorry. But the plot was really fucking stupid because you were basically like Black Ops team made of where every unit has some kind of magic power, either through curse or something else. But and they're basically sent in to deal with like supernatural things. So they go to the fucking deserts of Al-Khali, find magic ruins, and get attacked by demons and go time traveling. They have to chase a like zombie fucking an undead Nazi who dresses like a fucking dominatrix. They chase her back in time and have to use them for a ritual. But the point is, like, it's supposed to be this ensemble cast, and your dude's power was healing, but then you die, and then it's revealed that you also have the power to possess people. And so you can basically jump back and forth between all of your team members and to use their various abilities and weaponry.
That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, but it was a neat game, although it was kind of quirky and weird. But it got really fucking violent really fast, especially when you like time travel to like World War II era, and you've got like the grounds covered in corpses. There was one level specifically where you would go into a literal like cave made of like flesh and guts with rivers of blood, and fucking giant meat monsters would pop out of the water and kill you. But it was just this insane level of violence that I probably shouldn't have been playing when I was a kid, but I loved that game.
There's a lot of games that just kind of squeak by like that, because nowadays you really don't see that as much, but I remember the time, just that kind of time period where they really got through with like PS3 and Xbox, because I remember Splatterhouse or Slaughterhouse. I don't.
Splatterhouse, yes.
Yeah, Splatterhouse, because that one had
remake of the old like beat 'em up.
Yeah, because that one had like nudity in it.
That one was like
And-
the poster child for like that era of fucked up
and
violence.
like blood and gore and like really well animated executions and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Also, I remember just about every Call of Duty made by Treyarch around those times, they were like hyper gory as well, because that was like World at War times, because that was World at War was like the one that had the most gore in it, and it was people were trying to take it down for like Nazi symbolage.
It was the one where you can literally take a double barrel to someone's legs, and their legs are fucking gone. You can literally see the fucking bone and tissue.
And like
Really?
I guess that's not too far off from where we are now with some gory games. I can't think of like the most recent like gory game that's out there though.
It depends. I mean,
Blasphemous kind of counts, but that's a little more pixely.
Blasphemous doesn't need violence to get people angry.
Yeah, because it's blasphemous.
Oh, don't you know it's faithful?
Sure is.
Lots of faith. But going into indie games makes it harder to search because
Yeah,
like if
I mean, let's
you can
all right,
say video
reel it
game-
back. Not indie games, mainstream, but continue.
Yeah, well, I was just saying like you can debate on whether video games are considered mainstream or not, but indie.
They are.
Yeah, I think so too. But indie is like such a subsect of it.
Mhm.
But anyway, what was the question?
Like most recent, like big gory game.
They recently released a new Serious Sam.
I don't even know what Serious Sam is though.
It's like Duke Nukem.
It's an old like fast-paced shooter where the entire point is you have big guns and large arenas and hordes of enemies.
Hmm.
And they recently released a new one, and it's got violence and dismemberment and bloodiness in it.
Is Gears of War still gory? The last one I saw, you were killing robots.
Yeah, I think so.
I've never really been a Gears of War fan. They always were kind of
I haven't
exemplary.
I haven't played one since Judgment, and Judgment made me put them down.
I only played one of them. I played the first one. God, what other games have come out recently that have been...
Gore nowadays, it's not something you see throughout the game until you reach like a special moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what probably was fucking Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah. I haven't played that one, though.
Neither have I, and I don't really plan to.
I love the first one.
Same.
I want to try the second one, but it probably this is a hot topic right here.
This is a hot topic.
A hot topic from like weeks ago.
Yeah. It's a real hot button item.
I hate how nowadays the mainstream tries to take these things we love and try to push like a political agenda kind of deal.
Oh no.
Like, oh,
Moving on. Moving on.
But no, I do get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I do
we
agree.
get it. It's just...
like, you know what a good example of it?
What?
An Avenger Endgame, where you see the one scene with all like the woman and Avengers.
Yeah.
I'm all for that, like woman empowerment and stuff like that. that scene,
Tyler the feminist.
that scene where all the women like they get like their one action shot, it looks so goddamn forced.
Yeah, I mean that's the deciding. You know, I don't give a shit about these things in there. It's just when you.
It's fine as
Do
long
it.
as they aren't forcing it, you know?
Yeah.
And they forced it.
Well,
Alright.
They
forced
forced
women
women
upon
upon me, and I hate women. Fuck. What were we initially talking about?
I don't know. Alright, here... Since we were talking about books and movies and stuff, I read a book recently called... what are you laughing at?
You read? Nerd!
No, I was laughing at women.
I was laughing at women.
Because they're dumb.
Because they can't rap.
Oh, my God.
It was a joke based on something you said, but I forgot it, and I only remembered the punchline, which was women. Were you punching the women, Kyle? No, punchline figuratively speaking. That was not the joke, although it probably was misogynist.
Anyway, I read a book recently about, it was called, no, it was called Violently Happy, or Furiously Happy, sorry. And I really liked it because it's exactly how the title says it is. It's a funny book about terrible things. The problem I kind of had with it was like the comedy was a lot of the time a little bit so random for me,
Yeah.
but like that comes with how she was, because she was a diagnosed like heavily depressed and anxious person, and it was just kind of written like a blog about her life. And
like the I Am Happy book or I Am Awesome.
I Am
kind of.
Legend.
Yeah, I Am Legend. It's like I Am Legend. But it's
I am happy.
I am happy.
I am happy. I found a dog.
Oh no, doggy gone. But it's funny a lot of the time, but it's very quick to get real. It talks about her self-harming or like how her paranoia will think and act completely differently from like how she would want to be, or like her thoughts of suicide and stuff. And I bought this book a long time ago, and I had to put it down for a while because I didn't like how much I was like comparing my life to hers, because they were similar in a lot of ways. But I came back to it and I was really glad, even though it had been years since I got it and I already knew all the life lessons that it had to offer. It was good to see a reminder in such a nice and well wrapped up way. But that brings me to my next question, which is a bit of a downer. How do you guys cope with your depression and anxieties and stuff?
I don't. How do you deal with the pain? I just live with it.
I simply live with it.
I am
I think about things in the most backwardly positive manner.
That's reasonable. Like, cat get run over, don't have to feed cat no more.
Not even. My thing is more like cat get run over, but I already
Funny
know cats get
pancake.
run over.
Funny pancake.
Just stomp on cat. Funny waffle. Funny waffle. It's like a reverse waffle. But anyway, what the fuck was I talking about?
Like your backwards way of thinking
Yeah,
things.
because we were having a serious discussion on depression and coping, right?
And we do it with comedy.
But no, the way I see it is like, I always, when bad things happen, the short of it is when bad things happen, I live with the reality that bad things happen.
It also, I remember we were talking about it a while ago too, when during isolation, and we were like, yeah, it really is just better and a lot easier to say it is what it is, because it's a good mindset. But like,
Yeah.
I know this is like not the same for everybody, but like, fake it until you make it kind of thing. It's not like it's not the same thing as saying like, okay, why don't you just be happy? Because everybody knows that doesn't really work, but you just
be happy, Kyle.
if you just
No.
fake being happy, eventually maybe your smile will not be a forced one.
Possibly.
But that never really worked for me, because I don't even really smile even if it's a good day.
I can feel that.
But what I do, and because my bouts of depression are always really short, because I found this really works, just for me.
Just kill yourself.
No, well, that's a permanent solution. don't have to deal with it again if I do that. But then, what I do is I need to do something to get my mind off of it. So I'll shoot my mind tentacles out, and I'll just start dabbling in everything I know I will like doing, but I've been putting off doing. Because
I've been doing something similar like that. Like, if I'm ever like going down or under the weather, I play video games. I used to despise playing video games because I had absolutely no fun with it, because that's all my fucking teen years were, just playing video games.
Mm.
And I saw it it was a problem. It was not a good thing to do, so I stopped playing it for a few years. But recently, I've been having a lot of fun playing video games. I had a lot of fun playing 7 Days to Die.
The good stuff.
And I actually feel happy when playing.
not playing Bloodborne with us.
Don't act like it's my fault. Our internet just fucking hates each other.
No, I mean, you don't like playing it with us?
No, I fucking hate Bloodborne. No, when we actually do get to play Bloodborne. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It just feels like I'm just playing it through it again with Kyle.
It kind of is.
Yeah, because me and Tyler just can't seem to connect to each other.
Yeah, there's a problem in Dark Souls 2 or 3 as well.
We can only ever connect to each other in, like, party games. Like, we can connect to each other... No, we can't connect to each other in Call of Duty. We can connect to each other in Minecraft, and we can connect to each other in Fall Guys, and we connected in Fortnite when we actually played that, like, probably 2 years ago.
Those games and, like, say, like Call of Duty or something, or Dark Souls, I think you need a stronger internet connection to play those games well. Because it's a lot of NAT-type based stuff.
And Bloodborne has a really stupid system for connecting people. I know it's cool because it's like you ring your bell and you pick somebody up, but I don't like that as much as actually just being able to invite them or have them join on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's neat. It's a neat concept. It's just if you have people that have difficulty connecting, it doesn't, like, mash them together as well. It's just kind of like hoping that one of them will be able to.
Yeah, it just don't work.
That's why I like Bloodborne. I think it's very fun, but I enjoyed Dark Souls a bit more thus far because I was able to actually, like, we were able to play it. We could connect so much quicker.
A lot of our Bloodborne playthrough has been, like, trying to connect or waiting for some kind of connection that's not happening.
Like,
and
sometimes I'll be able to connect to Kyle sometimes, or most times I'm able to connect to Kyle, and Kyle's able to connect to me. I can't connect to Tyler almost ever, but sometimes I will only be able to connect to Tyler.
It's bullshit.
It's stupid and dumb.
It's so stupid.
I was reminded of something.
What's that?
Because that whole going and trying to find things that you're good at.
Oh yeah.
And things do things. That
the
reminds
second
me.
hobby thing?
Yeah.
Thank you for spoiling it, Tyler. Very cool.
I'm getting there. Just yeah. So, like, I have a thing. One of the things I do when I'm just out not feeling much, I go and I watch very, like, creative videos, usually on sculpting.
Oh.
And I found this one recent thing. It was a sculptor whose main shtick, kinda, is they make underwater sculptures.
Oh.
And what I mean by that is, like, one of the things that, you know, the, like, scene from The Meg where the person's, like, on a paddleboard or whatever and the shark goes under them?
Yeah.
They made a full, like, 3D sculpt of that where it's, like, a cube of the ocean.
Oh.
And you can see under the water and over it. And that's kind of their thing. They do that a lot. You know, and I'm kind of like that where I'm kind of like this where if I see something that's, I feel like, you know, from what I've seen, I could try this, I could maybe do this. You know, I think that a lot, but honestly, the idea of picking up, like, sculpting and trying to learn a bit of sculpting sounds like that's something I would want to do. So that broaches the general topic. If you could get another hobby or a second hobby that you wanted to actually, like, spend time on and master, what would it be?
Am I allowed to say drawing because I need to get double better at it to be... I need it to take up both spots.
Yeah, I suppose.
No,
well,
I shouldn't do that.
I
already have drawing as a hobby.
I'll also phrase it like this, because, like, it doesn't have to be this way, but, like, one that you feel you could want to, and you feel like you could spend the time for it, it's just you haven't wanted to.
I would like... Would you consider boxing a hobby?
Yeah, because you can actually train, like, in boxing technique and all that.
Because I'd like to do boxing. I always had just an all-around good time just punching a punching bag. And like, don't take that as Eric's a violent person. I always just
We
thought
already
that.
knew that, though.
Yeah.
He hits me every day.
I haven't hit you once today.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, I'm agreeing with you.
You gonna do it? You gonna do something about it? You want to
I
fight it?
agree.
I agree.
I agree.
But I always wanted to learn how to box as well, because I think that it would just be something that would be nice to know, just for like self-defense purposes, as well as I always thought that it was an appealing sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I never sat down to watch any of it.
Yeah, I was never into really anything like that.
Like that and like MMA. I don't watch sports because I just don't have the time for it. With
I'm
like
not sporty.
split between like all the other things that I'd like to do in my spare time, but I always thought that like MMA and boxing was interesting because it wasn't like every other sport. Because I always liked the idea of gladiatorial arenas. And those are like the closest things that we can legally have now.
Yeah. A competition of actual like fighting skill and like mobility and strength. You know, it's neat.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Tyler?
Mine would be actually like streaming and uploading to YouTube.
Don't you already do that?
No,
Oh.
Oh,
I haven't done it in a while.
well, why don't you?
But just like to do it on a consistent basis.
Oh, okay.
Like have like a video a week kind of deal.
Why don't you?
I just don't have the motivation to.
Well, that's honest.
Like I have like a ton of videos on my PlayStation, like I could from like more funny moments. But obviously, we know I gotta go through them, edit out the bad bits. Kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I remember I enjoyed making a video once, but
What we could do
couldn't
is...
make another one.
Here's what we could do. We could make a Let's Play channel.
We could.
Where, like, Tyler... It's like Tyler plays and we're just kind of on the couch beside him. Because I have capture cards, and we have the microphones, of course.
This is true. Anyway,
Sorry, but here's the problem. Could we do that without actually like recording ourselves?
What do you mean?
Like, do it like a face cam kind of deal, or
Yeah, we could do it without recording our faces.
yeah.
It's not a requirement.
Yeah.
it's just, if we do it with just our voices, we gotta be like super dramatic.
We gotta be... No, we can just be talking, because, like, video games are good enticements for, like, people talking, because you can be like, well, look at that guy over there, and then we just...
Look at that dumb old lady about to run over.
Yeah.
By me.
Or we can talk about how much we like the game that we're playing. You know, we're not going to go through this. We don't need to talk about this right now.
This is behind
We are on-
the scenes.
We are on podcast time.
What were you about to say before I interrupted you?
I don't know.
Were you about to talk about the hobby that you'd want to do? Or did
Well,
you already kind of drop that with...
That was sculpting.
Yeah,
The
sculpting.
sculpting is something I can totally see myself doing. It's just I haven't bothered to get like the clay and figure out how to use it.
That's another thing, too, that always kind of deters me from a lot of hobbies as well. I guess I'm really one to talk because my other hobby is painting Warhammer figures.
Yeah, well, something doesn't match here, but
But, like,
material investment.
yeah, material investment, like buying paints and stuff. It's a lot easier for me with Warhammer because I play Warhammer once a week with my friends, and I keep up with painting to an extent. So I'm already in it, but like if I was to juggle painting, drawing, editing podcast, and then add something else into the mix that is also material based, like Warhammer, I don't want to have two material based hobbies.
You see, I don't do as much as you, so I can't. That's not even what I would say. I'd say it's just like this idea of finding the things you need for something, buying them, so you can just start the activity, and then, like, who knows if you'll actually like it. Like, You know,
Mhm.
I found starting art was fairly simple because all you needed was a pencil and paper. I had those in front of me at school every day,
Mm-hmm.
so I could start that. But like with sculpting, because that's the other one that I totally would do. It's like I gotta, the way I see a lot of sculpts done. You gotta get like wire that you can like use to form like this, essentially the bones of a thing. Fuck it, or the structure, then like tin, you can wrap it in tin foil, and then that's where you start putting on the fucking modeling clay and shit. But you also like got a modeling clay that you can harden in the oven and then fucking paint up. And I'm like, this is cool, and I feel I could do all of this. It's just I'd have to start buying those things, and I don't know if I'm gonna actually stick with it.
Yeah, like if you're gonna buy into something like that, start off with buying small, because I was really, when I first got into Warhammer, I was really hesitant to like actually start buying, because the first couple times I played, my friend had like an extra army, which happens. It happens very quickly. You start thinking like other armies, like, oh yeah, that army.
You've already, you in the past have offered me to use to come with you to your Warhammer and use the second army you have.
I have 4 different factions at my disposal.
The man is maddening.
And I have, alright, for my one army, my main one that I started off with, no, I didn't even start off with that one. My other army, my second army that is now currently the absolute largest, it's the Death Guard. And over the course of time, some of my other Warhammer friends have bought the boxes for specifically one army, and the box Corona. But they bought the.
Were you coughing earlier? Huh? I was coughing earlier. Too.
I heard you sneeze.
The start boxes for armies. They normally come with both armies, so that like you and a friend could like buy them, but they my friends would all buy that box to get the Space Marines in them, because a couple of the friends I have play Space Marines. So they'd be like, I have Death Guard, I'll give it to you for like $10 because I don't want them. And I have 3 Dark Imperium boxes. I have probably close to 10,000 points in Death Guard, and almost none of it is built or painted.
Isn't it like 1,000-point armies the standard?
Yeah. Well, yeah, standard is about 1,000 points. And there is Kill Team, though, which is what I wanted to start with you. We could, if you wanted to, or you, Tyler, if you ever wanted to, like, just play around. Kill Team is, like, really, really small base. Yeah, and it's not, like, unit-based, it's just individual models.
I'd be willing to try it, but I am willing to try it, obviously. It's just like getting it fully into it myself is, of course, that.
It's a lot of reading, too.
Deep shit.
It's a lot of reading for, like, rules and stuff.
Well, it's a lot of reading, but it's also like, you gotta buy an army.
Yeah. That is, like, one of the main deterrents for a lot of people. And another deterrent for a lot of people is you have to build them. And, like, if you want to get into, like, tournaments, you have to paint them. Which is.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people don't want to paint them because they're their models. They don't want to fuck them up. But they don't know that, like, you can strip the paint with some special stuff.
And that's, the thing. Like, I am perfectly fine with building them and painting them because that sounds fun. And, it's not something I do, but I don't have the stuff to do it. So why would I have done it? But it's like, it's something that I would be into and like. It's just, for like a merry little band of men, that's going to be about $40, and you can't get into any matches with that.
Yeah, and buying the models too is a slippery slope, because I've started buying models now from like the Horus Heresy that can't be used in 40k. I just bought them so that I could have the challenge of like building them and painting them, and then saying I like this enough to put on my shelf.
That's another thing for me, right? Because part of the fun of it is that they are good models on top of playing pieces.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like good models. Did I ever tell my friend's dad gaming room? I've told that on the podcast, right?
Yes, you have.
Yeah, because he was D&D, but a huge D&D buff. So he had like banners on the walls. an entire bookshelf, like top to bottom, just covered in models, like little models of monsters. I remember specifically seeing on the shelf that was about eye level with me. One of the biggest creatures on the shelf was a beholder, and I always recognized that later on, especially with D&D, because the beholder used to be a pretty big image in D&D.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow. But like, yeah, models is great. I love models. It's just you can't use the models properly until you shell out some big money for all the models.
Yeah. And like another thing that pissed me off too, but like I can understand it for people that just really like the game and not like the other things that I view as like the most fun out of it is like building and painting them. What they would do to get into tournaments is, I think there was they were like, okay, people are like starting to not play at our stores anymore, so we need to make it easier for them. So they say you can get a 3 paint minimum. So what they would do is they would just cover their model in like red paint, blue paint, green paint, and it would just be like dip, dip, dip. And they would say, okay, it's done. And like I'm like, what my nerd rage.
Yeah, I mean they designed them so ostentatiously for this reason.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, dudes.
And like that's one thing that I always really liked about that hobby too, because painting the small models, it's like a challenge for me, because I've gradually started buying like smaller and smaller and more detailed. The one that I'm doing now is it's like Space Marines are fairly large and flat. This one is like smaller, like scaled down, because it's a human model.
Mm.
But the detail on it is incredibly small as well, and I want to get it right. Like it's like a challenge that I would like to I'm really enjoying doing.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. Tyler,
Yeah.
Why are you sleeping?
I can see you getting into blacksmithing.
I've always been down to try to do it. It would be a nice hobby.
That one would be a very expensive one to get into as
It
well.
would be.
That would probably be
But it isn't
the
just like
most
buying
expensive
like
one.
the iron and stuff like that. You can really take any kind of metal and try to reforge it, kind of deal.
Yeah.
That's true. It's just also like getting the proper smithing stuff as well.
Oh yeah, the hammers, the anvil, yeah, that would be expensive.
Like the ovens and molds too would probably be expensive to make for making the weapons.
Probably.
Because like that's a lot of. I know you can do it with sand, but like plaster is way better for that.
Yeah. I don't know, I can just see you being one of those dudes who's like, alright, today we're gonna make some bitchin' swords. Clang, clang!
I remember a field trip we would go on back in our old public school. They would literally take us to like a festival where it had like a bunch of occupations.
Oh, yeah.
And the blacksmith was always the most popular. Because like you would do demonstrations and you would pull out something like, hey little kid, how long do you think this took to make like this? It'd always be like a spirally thing. And everyone would be like, oh, 6 months, 3 months. Some kid would be like, oh, only a day. And everyone would be like, oh, what are you, fucking stupid kid? A day on that? And the guy would be like, yeah, 30 minutes. I did this in 30 minutes. And all the kids would be like, what? No way, let's see it. He would do a demonstration.
You'd roll a heated metal against a pole or something. Congratulations, you got a spiral.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I've always been the type, like, say I actually, because we all know a dream of mine is to get the gut sword made, Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to be a part of the creation of it. What? Did I say something funny? The folds in your mask look like a little mouth right under your nose.
You look like a bird.
It opens when you talk. You look like a goddamn Oni cartoon. Yeah, I always thought it'd be nice to be a part of
Just stop looking at him, Kyle.
Do you want me to fix the mask?
Sure.
I don't think... No, it's been like that forever. I don't think you can fix it. You just pushed it in and made it worse again.
Okay.
What would your guys' perfect weekend look like?
Home. Sleeping.
Oh, well, yeah, fuck you guys.
Dead.
I don't know. Friday would be me with the boys getting fucking crunked. Like, we're blacking out, boys. Saturday would be like, okay, we're recovering. Well, let's hang out, play some video games or something.
Let's go get breakfast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Sunday would be
God. Pray to Jesus. Perfect weekend.
just a day to myself.
Sundays are always good for just chill days alone.
Well, after 2 days of fucking drinking and shit with the boys, you need that recovery day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing that I want to do someday. Just have, just an entire day dedicated to just chilling with the boys. And drinking, yeah.
Just like 1 day a week, y'all get up and go to a diner, get some fucking diner breakfast.
Please, let's go to Del Mart for breakfast.
Well, we can't now. 'cause
Yeah, we
life
can't right now.
sucks.
Fuck! I'll kill myself.
No, Corona will end eventually.
No, wait, whoa! People are.
Don't worry, we'll go to deli buys eventually.
Suffer from mental retardation. There you go. You can't censor the clinic term, a medical term.
It's not a medical term, though.
Retardation.
Yes, it did.
Actually,
I'm sure it was, but they reformed that.
retardation. Actually, no. I'm talking like serious definition. The actual definition of that is a slowness of a process.
Okay, yeah.
That's why the term is mental
fine.
rather than just
Fine, as long as you don't put mental in front of it. No, I'm revoking that now.
We almost got him.
I'm gonna start weaving that into my vocabulary.
Medical.
No, not medical.
Oh.
Fucking.
Stop!
Not even realizing it.
Like, oh, my download speed is suffering.
Do you ever use those nice retardants to put out flames?
Retardant is different.
Okay, Kyle, what does your perfect weekend look like?
Honestly. Beating women.
AKA just putting himself down. Come here.
Hey, he roasted you 2 episodes in a row. Oh, yeah.
My man, he's finally done it. I love it.
Dark Tyler last week, a.k.a. Go to Roddy G's.
Dark Tyler.
Yeah.
Dark Tyler.
Dark.
Last weekend you had evil
I
Tyler
can't say
here.
that. You'll censor it, even though it's not what I mean.
Dark Tyler last week. He came over and he was on the podcast, and after that he pissed in my sink. So I don't even know if it's the right Roddy G, but go to Roddy G's Twitch, and in the comment just spam Tyler pissed in my sink. He's a sink pisser.
No.
Pink
Because
sister.
they're gonna think it's me.
Well, it was you. It was just your evil version.
You ever watch Scott Pilgrim?
Don't do that! That's why I said St. Black, Tyler.
You ever watch Scott Pilgrim?
Yeah, his nega song.
Yeah, it's Nega Tyler.
I know that passes. It passes on a technicality. But Kyle, please tell us about your week. Your perfect weekend, Kyle.
I can feel the sadness in that. Just please tell us.
God, Christ, stop. Just tell us about your fucking perfect weekend. Oh my god.
But it would be structurally remarkably similar to Tyler's, because like Friday is the day where you gotta like. Friday's the day where the wild stuff happens, you know, high energy. Saturday is just a chill day, whereas Sunday is a chill day with the boys or with yourself. Yeah. Sunday is
like, the day.
I obviously, you know, I wouldn't say every Friday has to be the day that we're fucking crunk shit fucked.
Because it's normally Saturday.
Yeah. But, like, you know, that's the day where you spend most of your time out and about or doing something crazy or interesting. Whereas Saturday is more like chill.
Friday, for me.
It would be for fries.
Yeah!
Okay, let's not
Friday,
the story.
Friday would be, I want to go out for dinner to, like, somewhere that we really have been wanting to go to.
Mana Grill.
Yeah, the Mana Grill is kill, though, so...
Mana kill.
But go out to dinner, then go back to somebody's house and just get blitzed, just get cross-faded as shit, and then it's pretty much the same as your guys, except the only thing I would add would be like D&D on Saturday.
I mean, that can be chill too. So.
Yeah, and then Sunday, I like having a productive Sunday. Like, I like going into Monday and saying, like, I got some stuff done that I wanted to do. Like, Sunday, I would want to draw a lot, and I would want to, like, watch some shows or, like, play some video games I've been meaning to get to, but also I want to, like, go out for a walk to somewhere in nature, because it's good to be connected to nature for a little bit. Because that's something that a lot of people have been losing. Regaining it because of COVID, because what the fuck else are you going to do?
How will I ever heckle homeless people with COVID around? All the homeless people went back home.
What the fuck?
Oh, they're the ones that died to COVID.
Have the homeless been getting COVID?
I don't know, that's weird.
That's weird. How could they possibly get COVID?
It's fucking weird, dude.
It's weird, man.
They occupy this weird, like, fifth reality.
Everybody avoids them. So why would they? Hey, man. I give homeless people money when I walk by. So I can say that.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
You know, that's like
I don't look at homeless people.
You know, that's like saying, hey, I donate that 1 cent to one of those, like, African children things, and now I can say the N-word.
They can eat that penny.
Fucking hell. Here's one.
Here.
if you had like $1 billion to donate to a charity, which one would you donate to?
The one for the condition I have.
Cancer?
Yeah.
I ain't ever gonna be fucking cured.
Yeah, cancer makes too much money.
Mine would probably
Nice.
be to like ALS, it's like Alzheimer's, or not limbs, but like organs to like to least wealthy people kind of
The
deal.
black market?
Yes.
Are you guys organ donors on your
I
on
think
your
I am.
cards?
Nope.
I said yeah, then I immediately right after was like, yeah, no one's gonna want my organs, but I'll do it.
Here's just how stupid I am, and then I'll go into what I would want to do. When they first, I can't remember what they asked first for if you want to be an organ donor or not. I thought that if somebody found out that like your organ would be the absolute perfect one for them, and it was something that like
Well,
could
that's
be
like-
taken without issue. I thought it would be like I'd have to give up my kidney someday.
That's a genuine fear probably for some people who don't know what like a real organ donor is.
So I said no, but I actually want to go and get it changed because like who the fuck nobody needs my body after I die.
They only take the important parts.
Like
They're gonna steal my appendix. Oh
They're
no.
gonna steal
my
my dick.
my precious appendix after death. What will I do without my appendix?
They'll take your internal major organs,
Lungs, kidneys,
intestines.
Kidney beans.
the beans. The thing is too, like a lot of organ donors are only people that this isn't even like anything bad or even good or whatever, but like a lot of the only people that end up like donating organs are like the people that like die kind of young because once you're old your organs start failing. That's just natural.
Yeah.
But like it's only relatively younger people that end up getting their organs donated.
I think the latest would be the late 30s, maybe close to 40s.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when your organs and stuff start to crap out.
And this is one thing that my dad brought up randomly one day, and he was like, it's kind of fucked up how you can be a really shitty person your entire life, but when you die and you just so happen to be an organ donor, everybody loves you.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's true. It's kind of strange to think about, but...
Yeah.
And like,
I
in
don't
the
think my
end,
organs
too...
are gonna be worth that much. They'll probably die along with me.
That's fucking rad, dude. That's fucking neat.
Oh, I don't even know what point I was going to make.
It was your organs are gonna die along with you.
Right, it was my joke that no one wants my organs. Because they're gonna be bad.
It's fucking stupid.
Tyler, what's your favorite organ?
The piano. Eric, you never really said what organization or thing you would actually donate
yeah,
to.
that was a question.
Oh yeah, I would donate to not a foundation that was strictly about cleaning up the sea. I would donate to one that's like figuring out like technology to clean up a sea.
Go
Because
check those Patreon.
Go check Kijiji.
stop rubbing the chair. You make sound.
How dare you make sense?
Sound.
Don't clang. But it's either that or a space foundation.
Just Space Marines.
Yeah,
Just donate to Elon Musk.
because the thing that I
He's
think
already a
is
fucking millionaire.
the thing that I think is best for all of humanity is either
Solar
we
space.
get off this planet or we clean it up.
Oh, neither gonna happen.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler.
Now,
Now I'm
you make me
pissed.
feel safe.
You're the one that brought up space.
Because I was
You
saying I
don't
would
need to
donate
bring up
to.
space. Space is up there on its own.
Technically, it's around us.
We're up space.
No. It's all around us. We're also below it, technically. And beside it. And parallel to it. And adjacent.
And adjacent opposite wise.
Perpendicular. We're sitting at about like 2/3 of the way up the hypotenuse of space. Even though
Fuck off!
it's spherical. Hypotenuses are for triangles. Right angle triangles, no less. Or no, 90 degree. Those are right angle.
Right
triangles.
angle is 90 degrees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not obtuse or acute. What do they call the ones that are like the perfect like not spherical. The perfect angled triangles, like the ones that are the same length and the same angle all over.
Equilateral?
That's it, equilateral.
Equilateral.
E. coli.
Because there's no acute triangle, there's just acute angles
Yeah.
and obtuse angles.
But when you have an acute angle on a triangle, it can't. Or when you have two acute angles. Was it two acute angles?
Yes.
Yeah, two acute angles on a triangle mean it has to be an acute triangle. This is basic geometry.
Yes, we're thinking. This just goes into another thing as well. I had to help my brother with his homework last week, and it has just shown me how I really don't want to have kids because, like, he's getting pissed, I'm getting pissed because, like, I have to learn stuff that I did from, like, damn near 10 years ago with him, and that math has left me. I have not had to use that math for 4 years.
Yeah?
So it means nothing to me. And, like, they're doing stuff, it's like, okay, it's do long division with not whole numbers. And I'm like, I have nothing to draw inspiration from. I have nothing to go off of because I haven't used this a day in my life. And
Yeah.
or like other things where it's like do multiplication or division with
Fractions.
yeah, fractions or like not fractions. What is it? Like decimals. I almost forgot the word. But doing it with decimals and you aren't allowed to use a calculator and you have to show your work. I'm like, well, if I had to do this in my average life, I would just use a calculator. But like, I know people view it as important not to lose the ability to do that, but if the world ends and electricity gets wiped out, I hope it doesn't happen in my life.
How to make a triangle.
Yeah, I'll know how to make a triangle. Even though I'll probably be too busy out, like, scavenging for food and trying not to end up on a pike.
Yeah.
So, eat that fucking math.
So what's your favorite shape, Tyler?
Hourglass. Just kidding. Obtuse hourglass. Bigger on the bottom.
No, I'm a boobs guy.
I like pears. I like peaches.
I wasn't gonna hit you.
I thought you would.
I wasn't gonna hit you. I wasn't gonna hurt you. But now you gave me a reason to.
Hey, your goddamn fruit.
What is your favorite shape, though, Taco?
I don't know. Never really thought of that.
Ovals are pretty good. Because I don't think you can really say hourglass is an original shape. because, like, it's based off of something that was made by humans. Even though shape... What the fuck am I talking about?
I don't know.
Hourglass shape was made after hourglass, so that's like saying pear-shaped. You can't say your favorite shape is not allowed to be like something pear-shaped or apple-shaped or hourglass-shaped. What's your original favorite square, Tyler? I mean, yeah, you like square. You think it's hip to be square?
What is your favorite shape without the influence of aliens?
Yeah. Because hourglasses are Xenos. They are Xeno triangulars.
Yeah, they're like you take all the laws of shape and you twist them.
You
into
take the moon and you take the sun.
And if you mess with me, you get the gun.
What was it? A rhombus?
A rhombus?
Rhombus.
It's like.
Yeah.
I like.
Or was that trapezoid?
That's
trapezoid was the.
Yeah, that's the trapezoid.
Yeah.
You were right. Rhombus is that one. Rhombus is pretty cool.
Fuck, was rhombus the diamond?
No.
No. Was rom?
We can solve this right
Rhombus
now.
was two parallels, right?
Yeah, like this.
Tilted. Yeah, like that, and then the flats.
It would have this, then like the flats.
Rhombus.
Yeah. That's.
Show me a rhombus.
That's either rhombus or a trapezoid.
Rhombus is diamond.
Parallelogram? No.
This is a fucking rhombus.
Yeah, it was the diamond.
Yes.
No, I hate that.
I
Show me again.
The diamond.
Yeah, but the diamond became the different shape after that.
No, it was always that one. It was always this one.
Oh!
Did I just blow your mind?
It is what I was thinking about all along. I was looking at it.
What the fuck's a rhombus?
That's a rhombus.
This is a rhombus. I'm showing you a fucking rhombus.
So why are you saying it's a diamond?
Because look, Tyler,
The
look at it.
diamond.
Or it's a crystal.
It looks like the emerald shape, but that's just a rectangle.
Oh my god. It looks like a jewel. That's
It
what my
looks like
teacher
a
called it.
ting
She was like,
tang.
"This is the diamond shape." But
But we can all agree that we found out we were right about Rhombi. I like.
Is a rhombus like it starts off.
we showed you pictures of a rhombus, Tyler.
It's
What
like-
do I think?
All right, it's like if you take a square and like.
I know
tilt-
what a fucking rhombus is.
What was the one that you were talking about, Kyle? This one.
trapezoid.
Trapezoid. Are you thinking of trapezoid?
No, maybe.
Tyler, look at my fingers.
No. No, I'm talking about a different shape now. What he was saying, I thought what the fuck's
Basic baby math shapes. God.
Is it, I think it's a cone, maybe.
A cone?
It's like the start of
A triangle.
but that has like a circle thing at the bottom.
What the fuck are you
No,
talking
I
about?
was not. That I would have called that a teardrop.
Pretty sure it's an actual shape. I'm trying to ask what the fuck the name was.
I don't know. Anyway,
What's your searching up?
I'm looking up shapes, Tyler.
Well, listen.
Just so that I can try and figure out what the fuck you're talking about.
I had like an out of body experience right there.
Oh my god.
When Eric was showing that me, it seemed like a fever dream.
this is a fever dream. This isn't happening. Don't. If you die in the dream, you die for real.
Are you talking about a cone?
Yeah, I said that.
This right here,
I think so.
a cone. Why would that be called anything other than a cone, Tyler?
I don't know.
It's a.
It seems too easy.
Oh my god. My favorite shape's a pentagon. Because I like them more than octagons.
I also like dodecahedrons.
That's not a basic baby math shape.
I think it has to be 3D.
Oh, hey, God.
What?
I didn't know where you were for a second.
Alright, 3D shapes are different though.
That is true. What's your favorite 3D shape?
Parallelogram. No. What the fuck is a parallelogram? I don't.
Parallelogram. The fuck was parallelogram?
But anyway.
Was that stuff with cos? No. Sine and cosine was...
Find the parallelogram
yeah.
of a shape.
Or was that graphing stuff? Why did we do so much goddamn graphing in math?
I don't know. It was boring.
I'll never use that in my regular life.
Oh, hey kids, we get to use our protractors now.
Here's the thing, though. I actually liked doing...
I was right. It is also called a parallelogram.
Show me.
Rhombi.
Rhombi.
Because all lines are perpendicular to each
Yeah,
other.
all roads really do lead to Rome.
All roads lead to Rhombus.
How much time do we have left?
We have the world ahead of us, but we've got about 6 minutes until we hit 2 hours.
What the fuck? You were talking like we've only been doing this for like 30 minutes.
What?
Yeah, we got a long road ahead of us.
When did I say that?
Is that what? Is that? Did you not say that?
I dream a dream of days gone by.